Orleans-style Italian restaurant, and while they're known for their muffalata, there is so much more to explore on their menu, especially for Valentine's Day. Joining us now is Peter DiMartino, Ryan DiMartino, and Angela Hill. Thank you all for being here with us today.
Thank you,
Thrilled.
Jacqueline. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
So these smells are just so beautiful. The aroma, oh my goodness, I'm hungry. We're cooking spaghetti and meatballs. Tell us about it.
It doesn't get better.
Right.
Let me tell you, and I'm going to butt in.
Sure.
Because I love DiMartino's. I was a customer long before I was his spokesperson, but the spaghetti is the killer.
Oh man.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I love it.
Yeah, it's all about the sauce in many ways.
Okay.
I mean, our sauce is a mild sauce. It's not overly powerful. We take our seasonings, we cook them down to where we get the exact flavors and consistency that we want.
Wonderful. And it's all bubbling in there together. And do you have the meatballs in there, or how does this work?
We have the meatballs in there, and you can see it's cooking on a low fire. You don't want to cook it on a high fire because you'll scorch it.
Okay.
Which actually at home I've done, so I do believe what he's saying.
Right.
But you know, I didn't know that you didn't cook the meatballs in the sauce, that you actually cooked the meatballs ahead of time.
Ahead of time, and then,
that,
right.
I did not know that.
Yeah, we do that because if the meatballs are cooked in the sauce, from a commercial standpoint, then you have to re-thermalize it, reheat it, and the meatballs start breaking apart. And what you have is spaghetti and meat sauce. So you can't give up the meatballs.
Right. That's part of the fun too.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're over here using an ice cream scoop, right?
Yes, we are.
So you're not messing around with these meatballs?
No, not at all. We're going to scoop the meatballs, put them in the oven.
Sure.
And we'll
get
the color.
They make it look so easy.
Yeah.
Right, I know. I was going to say, and there's a lot that goes into cooking a good meatball, right? Can you kind of maybe give us some hints?
Well, it takes the right combination of breadcrumbs, the right meat. We use a good Angus beef. We also have, you know, our eggs in it. We also have the breadcrumbs and the eggs. But after you finish mixing it, it's important that you do not overmix it. Because what happens is everything starts to tighten up, and then it becomes either spongy or tough.
I see.
So it's real important that you don't overmix it.
How did you learn that?
Yeah, but ruining some
question.
meatballs.
Yeah.
You ruin meatballs.
Okay.
And plus your customers will tell you, they're too tough, they're too this or too that.
Sure.
Ryan has some meatballs.
right?
Beautiful.
Oh, wow, yes.
See, little Picassos, I would call that. Works of art.
Right, they are works of art, it's true.
Yeah.
So then the next step from here, after they're out of the oven, then you place them in the tomato sauce, right?
Place them in tomato sauce, and they will cook on the line to some extent, or the flavors will melt into the gravy, which you'll get a nice blended taste.
Okay.
You see.
And what makes this dish so important for the city of New Orleans?
Well, at the turn of the century, many Italians and most Italians settled in the French Quarter. The French Quarter became the Italian Quarter. So the restaurants had to respond to that. So they had to realize in the demand of the Italians, they put Italian dishes like spaghetti and meatballs and other Italian dishes on the menu. So it was important to them. And it's almost become Italian food has become the culture of New Orleans. And remember one thing, spaghetti and meatballs is always on a Sunday in an Italian family.
See, I love that. But that's why one of the great appeals of DiMartino's, in all seriousness, is they do blend that. It is that great sense of Italian culture with New Orleans culture.
Sure.
In everything they serve, but that's the key.
Yeah.
But we can eat this wonderful dish on Thursday for Valentine's Day, right?
Absolutely.
Today. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. I was going to say, so you know, you go through all this trouble, and you know, even with the meatballs, I mean, you can always shape them into little hearts, right?
You could do whatever you
if you
want
wanted to,
yes.
right? Okay.
Get a heart ice cream scoop.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That's a good idea. So, where can you find the best ingredients?
Well, basically, any local store would have the best ingredients. The key is fresh ingredients. We cut all of our seasons, and we do not use a food processor. They're cut by hand.
Okay.
When you use a food processor, you dismantle all the cells in the seasoning.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
and what happens is you have one big sauce rather than tasting the bell peppers and onions and things all separately. So as long as they're fresh and as long as you take the time to do it right, you're going to be all right.
Okay.
He said a magic word, though. I have never been to DiMartino's where I did not get the same consistency of excellence, really.
Sure.
And that makes a difference.
Yeah,
and just this conversation, I didn't know you hand cut everything.
We do.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
and that goes back to the ice cream scoop and many, many other things to keep it consistent.
Love it. Okay. Can we plate this? Angela, would you mind plating some for us?
Yes, I will do
this.
this. So I'm just going to put a
Well,
little
she's
right here.
playing. We're going in the bar.
We're going to do this first?
Go in the
Oh, I
boiling
see.
water.
Okay.
Yeah.
This I do well.
Yeah. And that's going to re-thermalize it.
Yep.
Okay.
And spaghetti has to be hot. It has to be hot. If cold spaghetti, like cold pizza,
Right.
not good.
Not the same.
Okay, so we're going to come up and we're going to drain that, drain it properly. Okay?
And this spaghetti, it's infused with olive oil to begin with, right?
Yes,
That's where it gets that
we
sheen
baste
from.
it with olive oil after we cook it. Spaghetti goes on top, and you can see the smoke coming off of that spaghetti.
Right.
So here you have the meatballs.
Oh my goodness.
And what he's saying is correct about hot. How many times have you gone and it's kind of mild and you want to say,
Right.
can you zap it?
Right.
But everything they think of, ingredients, presentation, but the heat, very important.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I can tell you
Oh my
one
gosh,
thing.
that looks good.
I can tell you one thing. Taste, temperature.
Can't forget the cheese. It's
No,
true.
no,
Right.
no, can't forget
Let's
the
put some
cheese.
cheese in there, Ryan. And texture. Taste, temperature, and texture. If it's not hot enough, it's not going to taste good. What's the difference between cold pizza and hot pizza? Cold spaghetti is not hot spaghetti.
This is true. All right, thank you all so much for being here. We
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
To learn more about DiMartino's, head to their website.